Like, so the interesting thing to me there is that there's the conversation that Daigo has, and you kind of see this reflected in the way Tokido plays and thinks about fighting games lately. There's a point in this where Daigo says basically like, Tokido, the way he used to play fighting games was different, right? He said the way he used to play fighting games is that he saw fighting games as a mean to an end. And you see this talked about more recently from Tokido where he says like before he just picked whatever was the strongest or the cheapest, always. And he just tried to win. Like he just competed to pick the strongest, best thing and do whatever it takes to win, right? It didn't matter about kind of like the effort or like what he put into it. And now he has like this new mindset that he has sort of adopted, and he says like he doesn't care about picking the strongest or the cheapest or whatever. His goal is to pick what he wants to play and sort of do the best he can to play that, because then he will improve as a player, right? If you just play whatever's the cheapest all the time and you just learn whatever tricks you need to do to win, your goal is not to improve as a player, it's to win. And those are two different goals, you know what I mean? My goal is to shut the hell up over there, Vicious, real quick, with your 12-month sub. Thanks very much for the subscription. His goal before was not to improve. The goal is to win, right? It's an interesting kind of like change in the mentality that he talks about. And he says basically that mentality was changed because of that set that Infiltration and Daigo played, where Infiltration was dunking the world, and then all of a sudden it just turned around on him like that, right? And yeah, you can clearly see that Tokido feels like he has made that change in sort of his mindset and how he thinks about the game. And like this is sort of his like, all right, I've changed how I thought about fighting games. Like now, like, you know, have I caught up to Daigo, right? He's done so many things. He's won Evo finally again. He got second place at Capcom Cup. He's playing extremely well. He's at like the top of his game. Like, has he caught up to Daigo? He doesn't think he has, but he wants to play to try to test to see if that's the case. It's an interesting set for sure. Is this the intro? Alright, we're gonna jump into it. I'll let the intro play out and then we'll talk about the matchup. So, I wanted to let Aru do his thing and do the intro because, you know, it's always sick. Oh, it's not. It's oh, I thought you were talking about my cup. It's not water. It's coffee. But yeah, all right. There's a lot to talk about in this set. There's a lot to talk about. The gameplay was very interesting, and I think the strategies were really surprised me, is what I'll say. Particularly Daigo. So when I came into this set, there was a few things that I had on my mind. First and foremost, I think that this is an uphill battle for Tokido with Akuma, because I think Guile is very strong in this matchup. In particular, I think that it is very tough for him to navigate through the ground game. There's not a lot of matchups, I feel like, where Akuma doesn't have good grounded tools to use against character, and he struggles to counterpoke against them. But Guile down medium kick and forward medium kick mixed in with boom and like back fist or back HP is like super, super tough to deal with. And the interesting thing to me on this is that Daigo doesn't really like just walk back and throw booms all day and give up space. Daigo is actually willing to just stand and fight, and he has like kind of an interesting way of going about it, which I sort of like. I sort of like the way he approached the neutral. He didn't give up as much space as I initially expected, and he wasn't willing to slow down and stop fighting until he had V trigger. Right, that's kind of when he stopped and thought about it. But this is a very tough match for Akuma, I think. It's a really tough match. A lot of people talk about the V-Trigger 2 pick from Akuma, and I sort of talked about this earlier. There's a couple of ways to look at it. First of all, I think that neither of Akuma's V-Triggers are particularly strong against Guile. So in this matchup, if you have V-Trigger 1, right, you have to remember, think about last season, for instance, right? When Akuma has V-Trigger 1 against Guile, the air fireballs are incredibly strong neutral tools, right? But not so much against Guile, right? Flash kick really kind of negates a lot of that. So it's not something that you really have to consider as much when going against Guile. The real strengths of V-Trigger 1 are the grounded fireball, right? Because you have a 2-hitting, fast-moving fireball to compete with Guile's boom. But when you're throwing that fireball, you're losing your V-Trigger very fast. The real thing you gain with that fireball is when you're in the corner and you have cornered Guile and you throw a V-trigger fireball, you have advantage against Guile, who has a 4-frame button, and you can force your throw game. Even that is weaker in this season because Akuma's throw game is much worse than it used to be, right? It used to be that when he threw you, especially in the corner, the follow-up after was really, really fucked up, and that's why I think where Akuma could win this matchup in the last season. But now that the game has become more neutral-based, and a lot of Akuma's offensive pressure situations end up with neutral instead of offense, it's super hard. I think that it really favors a character like Guile, in particular because Guile still has pressure off of his back throw when Akuma gets no pressure off of his throws, right? Which is tough. That's a very tough thing to deal with. The other thing about V-Trigger 1 is that you get Demon, which I think is obviously super powerful, right? It's just a little, like, you can make the Demon work, but I think he wanted something a little bit more consistent with V-Trigger 2. I don't think V-Trigger 2 is particularly good against Guile either. The main thing he uses it for is Far Fierce, cancel Red Fireball, and then he uses Demon Flip pressure and stuff off of it. One of the better ways that he utilizes it is making the MK Tatsu through booms a little bit more dangerous because you can cancel like Uppercut Fireball or Uppercut Tatsu or whatever, right? There are ways to make your other neutral tools against Guile a little bit more dangerous than they were before, but I don't think it's that dangerous either, right? I don't think it's dangerous enough to make Guile worried about either of your V-triggers. In particular, you see later on, Daigo just starts V-reversaling out of it, so it's not really that effective in a lot of ways. You commit him to make his V-trigger go away, but he has a 2-bar fucking V-trigger, so he's gonna get it again anyway, right? That's an interesting question. What do I think about throws and pressure in general? Do I think it makes the game better or worse? I think a big complaint of Street Fighter V was that the offense and throw loops were like a little overwhelming and there wasn't enough defensive options. So instead of buffing defensive options, they nerfed how often you get put in that scenario instead. And you can see a big effect of it in this matchup, right? You can really see a big effect of it in this matchup. There is basically every time Tokido finds offense, Daigo is willing to clamp up on defense, and he just is willing to eat the throw. There's no reason for him not to. And you sort of see this constantly get reset to neutral, where obviously Guile wins and he struggles because of it. But this begins our match, and I want to talk about kind of the strategy that Daigo implements. The important thing to me about these two players is that when you watch them play, it's very clear that Tokido, this fellow over here, is, I think, obviously the more technical player of the two, right? I think he dives a little deeper into the game than Daigo does. He's more of a mathematician than Daigo in a lot of ways. He cares more about the how of the game, or he cares more about the why of the game, and he tries to dive in and really understand the technical side of things and optimize that, right? On the other hand, it feels like Daigo's strategy to me is not at all like that. Daigo's strategy to me is all focused on Tokido. It's all focused on the most simplest ideas of how Tokido plays and how to abuse that in the matchup, right? It's not a technical strategy. It's like a strategy built around like beating the player and the character, right? It's not like, well, if I come up with this really strong series, then I can do this, right? And it's very reflective of when Daigo talked about it in the interview, sort of like how he and Tokido are different in how they prepare for things, right? Like Tokido's preparation to me seems like it was just studying the character matchup and trying to come up with the most solid options he could in terms of like the technical aspect of the game. But Daigo's strategy is like, how do I beat Tokido? Right? That's the difference in how they think to me when I was watching this matchup and seeing kind of how they play. And you can sort of see that in the way that Daigo plays the neutral. You're going to see it pretty quickly in the match. But one thing to talk about is that Daigo plays right outside of Akuma's normal range, where his fireball is his most prevalent tool. And he plays very reactive style of footsies with Guile. He doesn't hold charge. He instead holds his ground and fights with Guile's normals, which are incredibly strong. In particular, forward medium kick against Akuma is so good because forward medium kick, it hits like about out here. It moves him forward and it hops over lows. So it forces Tokido to stop using crouching medium kick, which is his main poke that's hit confirmable, right? So he loses his most hit confirmable poke. And when that happens, like at that point, Akuma has to commit if he wants to use any of his other buttons. And so as soon as he starts swinging with fierce or down fierce or standing medium kick, Guile can step back, boom, and hit those buttons. And then he starts to force Tokido to really kind of scramble to come up with a good solution. It's it's a tough scenario to deal with, and I think it's why this neutral game is so tough for Akuma to win. But let's just watch a little bit, and then I'll show you as it happens. Punish. You can see it already. Daigo, it's not working out for him so far. Important right there. Two important things to talk about already. It's not working out for him so far, but you can already see sort of how he feels about the neutral, right? See him standing still? You see him standing still and not moving, correct? He's playing a reactive style of neutral, and the thing is if you don't know how hurt boxes work, when Guile's standing here like this is where he can be hit, right? If Daigo were to crouch, then his hurt box gets wider and he can be hit from further out. So, for instance, these are the two hurt boxes of Guile standing and crouching, right? And if you're fighting against Akuma and you don't want to be hit by his normals, if you stand like Daigo is doing here, then you have a much better chance of making the normal whiff and be able to whiff punish, right? If you crouch, you turn into the little box down here, and yeah, I mean, it's more likely that you're gonna get hit, right? It's more likely that you're gonna get hit. So that's something to consider in the neutral. The other thing that you see Daigo doing, yeah, a lot of forward medium kick, of course, but notice the way he blocks on pressure right here. This is something that Fudo showed off a while ago on Beast TV. So when you block a normal, notice that Daigo is gonna take the tiniest step back in between blocking, right? See the step back and then crouch again. So the reason you defend like this in this game, right? Street Fighter V doesn't have a lot of built-in defensive options, but this is a defensive strategy that's extremely important to master. And when you master this strategy, what begins to happen is that you nerf a lot of the built-in tick setups that character has, tick throws and offense, and you push yourself out of range really quickly. So what happens there is you force your opponent to whiff on this throw. Daigo does down jab boom to punish. See that? So watch it when it's fast. Step back, down jab boom, right? It's just a little step back that you need to do in these kind of scenarios to be prepared. As prepared as Daigo Umehara, the Batman of the FGC. Thanks very much, Kid Brawley, for the $2. Also, why is my quality so bad? Quality 720p source? I don't believe you. Alright. So yeah, important thing to keep in mind about this matchup, right? The way Daigo defends like that, dash forward, down short, he does that a lot to take up space after the boom. And he's already sort of gotten Tokido to go to fireballs a little bit more, as you see. And this is sort of the main strategy of Daigo, right? Oh, that was a missed flash kick. The main strategy of Daigo is pretty simple, right? You use forward medium kick and Guile's grounded normals to make Akuma realize I shouldn't hit a button, right? You use your normals as Guile to stuff Akuma, and Akuma says I should stop hitting buttons because his buttons are stuffing mine. So what Akuma's going to do is he's going to step back, fireball, right? And when he steps back to fireball, that's when Daigo can then use his own booms and then start to dash forward or jump in against Tokido, right? It's a really common strategy for Guile to kind of use in the neutral. Again, throw pressure is not at all scary. Backdash, that's an important thing to remember there. When Daigo activates here, Tokido backdashes a lot. And he begins to catch that later on in the set. But as soon as he gets this V-Trigger 2, Daigo is so much scarier, right? He has so much more damage potential, counter hit confirm. Delayed meaty. Important part about this set too. So, you know that Tokido likes to use a specific option select. There's a specific option select that he likes to use on Wake Up. And a lot of characters can do this, right? And the option select is you input Demon Flip and Throw Tech, right? But this option select it's extremely powerful because it'll Throw Tech if your opponent throws you, and if they delay their meaty or if they walk back to shimmy you or whatever, you'll get Demon Flip on Wake Up. But Daigo basically mixes Tokido up by doing either like immediate throw, or he does a delayed meaty to beat the Demon Flip OS, and you see it right there. It's losing, but you're gonna see him kind of do a more deliberate challenge to it later on. Yeah, immediate throw that time, right? V-Trigger 2 for Akuma. Damn! That's 1 for 1 from Daigo. I think his reversals are like near perfect hit rate. Again, you see the way Daigo's playing neutral, right? Not just stand there and hit booms, or stand there and charge and throw booms. Like, he's willing to stand and fight against Akuma in the neutral, right? And what happens is he forces, if Akuma starts throwing fireballs, then he walks up and stuffs them. If Akuma starts going for those grounded buttons, then Daigo can whip punish with his normals. So he's really forcing Tokido to kind of, yeah, he's always forcing him to change what he's doing, and Daigo's like one step ahead. Fierce, fierce. Important button in this matchup. But very easy to whip punish if Daigo can make it whiff. Yeah, you see the throw pressure is so much worse from Akuma here. You see this corner position, like, yeah, throw, and then what does he get after, right? Not much. And that change is so important in this matchup. Overhead. Nice work. That was a good adjustment from Tokido. You see the golf claps in the back? Yeah, there's a couple of ways to stop the walk back on block. Good challenge. Yeah, the dive kick's not plus. There's a couple of ways to stop the walk back tech, but it oftentimes opens you up to counter pokes. There it is. Yeah. So we just mentioned that, right? We just mentioned the walk back. Infilament brought it up in the chat. Down strong, immediate low medium kick to catch Daigo walking back. The walk back tech is so important for characters in this matchup to make throw a whip. All Daigo has to do is tighten up his timing a little bit. He shouldn't be leaving a big enough gap that'll hit him. It should be stuff like crouching shorts that catch you instead of what he's being hit by. A lot of crouching medium kick from Tokido early in this set. You're gonna see that button start to disappear as the set goes on. It's hit. Yeah, that's a guess. It's a common guess in this matchup. Right? You have to try it. Forward medium kick makes that crouching medium kick not useful for Akuma. Juggle. And really all he wants here, right, is fierce into the red fireball, into like lockdown and all that. Especially now that Daigo has activated, there's nothing from Akuma. Yeah. Weak approach from the air for Akuma in this matchup. This is why I don't know about V-Trigger 1 so much, right? The air fireball is not effective. Even, you know, jump forward EX air fireball will lose to the flash kick like that. Back throw. This is as serious as I've seen Daigo look in a long time, by the way. Yeah, Akuma has faster buttons than crouching medium kick that he can use on the ground. But they're all sort of counter pokes and not hit confirmable buttons, and crouching medium kick is just, it's so far. It's a button you want to hit often, right? Now Daigo has gone to way more booms, right? You see this? Daigo went to like boom, 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 boom right at the start of the match, right? Last time he stood still and forced the ground game, and then this time he sort of switched to immediate boom, boom, boom. And, you know, if you're Tokido and you're walking forward trying to whiff punish those grounded buttons or trying to tag him with your own normals and suddenly he's throwing booms, it's much tougher to stop, right? You're going to see it sort of right here. Boom. Another one. He's trying to walk in and maybe get a button or something like that. And then stuffed when he tries his own fireball. That was a great buffer. He needed that standing medium kick buffer. And I think he's looking more alive here. Activation. This is what he wants with this V-Trigger too, right? This is, I think, the idea from Tokido. So he gets activation here off the V skill. Standing fierce, right? Which he can now cancel red fireball in the demon flip. And he gets a mix-up. Although, of course, the problem is that it doesn't lead to too much, and he's wasted his entire V-Trigger. You can see down here, the V-Trigger's gone. What he does get is a pretty sizable chunk of gray damage up there, right? That's a lot of gray damage, but it's an entire 2-bar V-Trigger used for not much offense. I think, unfortunately, the problem is that, you know, you spend the V-Trigger on gray damage, which you might never cash out, which is pretty unfortunate. As unfortunate as Unsung Hero catching me in the middle of something. Thanks very much for the 9-month sub. Sorry it was a delayed segue. So this is where Daigo fights out of the corner, and I think man, this is crazy. The impressive part about Daigo's neutral game to me in this set, mostly, no, I'm just kidding, Unsung Hero, don't worry about it, is that he seems to block always at the last frame. So notice when he stands here, he's playing a completely reactive style. He just waits, and he's not blocking on this frame. And he's blocking on that frame. Right? Man. He has such an unusual style in this matchup. I'm not sure that Tokido was ready for him to play like this. It's such a weird way to play. He's got V-Trigger activation now. He didn't have charge there for the boom, or he missed it. There it is. That's a great answer. And that's an answer that, as Tokido, you have to have, right? which is when Daigo stands right here, he wants you to throw a fireball so he can beat it with forward medium kick, right? This range right here is where he can beat you to the punch with forward medium kick, right? But unfortunately, Tokido stepped back just a bit and got the fireball, which knocks down. And that difference in spacing is so important, right? Because knockdown fireball from Akuma means he gets to dash in and get pressure. Backdash again after the activation. Tokido's done V-reversal and backdash twice. That's a really, really strong buffer. That was not a punish. He just, he committed to it. This standing light kick buffer after the forward, after the down forward roundhouse, or standing roundhouse, I guess. That buffer right there to catch the normal or fireball is really impressive. Yeah, he just does this. Tokido was walking forward here. It's not a punish of any kind. It's just he just did it, expecting Tokido to walk forward because he had plus frames, and that's what would have happened, right? Wow. I'm not sure that was intentional. I don't know if I'll give him the credit. So, Tokido goes down medium punch. Remember before, Daigo is doing the walk back, right? He's doing these little walk backs between the pressure. But that's mostly to gain space for yourself and also to make throws whiff. From this range, he doesn't have to worry about that crouching medium kick, right? Since Tokido tries it again just to see if he's going to stand up, he's trying to find that hit confirm. And the problem with it, of course, is that when you go for this and your crouching medium kick doesn't hit, you're gone, right? He can't hit. He's looking for the hit confirm. When it doesn't go, then he's gained that space back, and now he's back to where he wants to be on the screen. So by trying to hit confirm there, you lose it. Yeah, he probably has to take sweep here. Yeah, he's not close enough to do down medium punch into flash kick. Definitely not flash kick. Maybe EX boom, but... And now he's gone to way more booms. And you know that as soon as Tokido steps back and throws a fireball, Daigo will walk up and just do forward medium kick or something. That won't hit. Yeah, recovery is too fast. Throw, but again, like what, right? This throw nerf is so huge, right? This throw nerf is so huge in this matchup. Like, at this point, you know, you just, what do you get as a meaty, right? It resets to neutral, and the neutral is so lopsided. Forward medium kick there. There's the activation. He takes the slide, and he gets good damage on that because of the gray. But again, it's an expended V-trigger for nothing. Good challenge. Important to do against Akuma with any character that has something projectile invincible. Far range crouching medium kick into fireball, you can interrupt with a projectile invincible move. He looked for that stand light kick buffer. And Tokido really kind of clammed up there. This is bad. This is kind of an unwinnable situation against Guile. Unless he makes like what, 2 mistakes in a row, 3 mistakes, 2 to 3 mistakes. He tried standing medium kick to stuff it. It looked like he just reacted to movement. Yeah, just wait right here, right? There's nothing at that range that Daigo's afraid of. That was great crosscut. He didn't cancel in a CA though, so now he loses in 1 hit. This is a winnable match. That's 2 mistakes in a row for Daigo, but there's not much time. That's that button right there, right? That's 2-0 on the first 2 games for Daigo, and interesting to consider too that if you count the EVO Japan matches, that puts Daigo at 5-0 in their set. He beat him 3-0 at EVO. That forward medium kick is such an issue button. I think it's one of the best grounded normals in the game. Because every time you move forward and you do forward medium kick, right? First of all, you have to consider that forward medium kick on counter hit is a counter hit combo starter. It's +4. You can link his down jab after and do down jab boom or down jab flash kick depending on the range. Secondly, forward medium kick will stuff many lows, and it's a forward moving medium attack, right? Which means that it has good priority. It doesn't have the best priority, but it has good priority, right? The second thing to think about there is that to beat that forward medium kick, there's 2 ways, right? You either step way back, right? You either step way back here to try to whiff punish it. And when you do that, you're giving up space against Guile willingly, which is always bad, right? You never want to do that. So you have to do that, or you have to stick out your attack early. Just stick out standing medium kick right here. Like, all right, I hope that he sticks out forward medium kick, and I hope that my button wins. And both of those options are bad, right? Neither of them are long-term, consistently strong options against this character. So, yeah, it's a pretty good button. That was a great Tatsu, but again, it doesn't do much damage, and it's a big guess. See, clean forward medium kick. Look at it just glide right over this thing. It's like butter, dude. It's like butter over the crouching medium kick. It's such a impossible button to deal with. And the problem is when you start to step back to try to whiff punish it, or you start sticking out buttons to interrupt it, it just puts you in such a bad position. Yeah, Daigo not afraid of the throw at all. Forward medium kick again. Great air throw. Upside down kick. He could have got down strong there, but he didn't counter hit confirm it. I think that's one of the only times he didn't. Holy shit. That's the fear that these normals provide. Oh no! That's the fear that these normals provide with. You're right. Like this ability to walk down like that, I think is only because of his forward medium kicks and upside down kicks and etc. Like Tokido has sort of clamped down on what he is doing, and you can just see it, right? He has that control in the neutral now. Yeah, I clicked on something. I have a Twitch Prime that I haven't used. Oh no, his down fierce lost. Oh, he had CA. All right, that worked out really well for Tokido. He didn't have to spend his bar because he got a throw bait. One of the first throw baits that Daigo takes, I think, right in this set. Clean backdash. He uses that a lot. That's such an important tool in this matchup. If you can make that standing fierce hit, you have a great chance, I think. It's just really tough to do. As tough as it is to thank 6Mao for the tier 1 sub. Thanks very much for the 3 months. Damn, he got clipped. He's almost stunned. Man, it's so fast. Look at what Guile lands to get stunned here. Down jab, EX boom. He's forcing him out. He's at half stun already, right? He's at half of his stun already. He hasn't lost that much life. This jump in is humongous. He just wants that activation, and that's one of the things that you know Akuma players are thirsting for. That's tough. He's dead. When Akuma players have V-Trigger, they always want to back up and do this, right? This is such a common strategy to activate V-Trigger, right? Throw the red fireball and just get that out there, right? But he lands a clean jump in, and you start to see sort of the trouble of the neutral buttons from Guile, right? Instead of like backing off and just throwing booms all day, Daigo is willing to walk up, use his crouching medium kick. He counter pokes again to catch Tokido, you know, swinging with that big fierce. He wants something. He wants something. Boom. And then again, the issue with the fireball. EX fireball from Akuma feels like a good option, right? It beats a lot of times, you know, if Guile walks back and hits buttons or something like that, it's going to beat it. It's really fast. So you're thinking to yourself, yeah, like this will be my button, right? This will be my attack to kind of beat whatever button he's going to stick out. And unfortunately, when you throw a fireball, if Akuma's hurt box is normally like this, when you throw that fireball, it extends your hurt box, right? You get an extended hurt box out to like where your hands are, sort of. And so what happens is, you know, that rapid down medium kick ends up hitting because of it. Just an unfortunate consequence of a fireball. And Tokido, he obviously wants to walk back to make Daigo's buttons miss, right? But it's so hard to do. Yeah, you can see it. This is what it's like to play neutral against Guile. He uses down fierce, right? He's trying to crush a boom. He's trying to crush whatever button Daigo hits. Walk back boom. When he throws the next one, notice that Tokido hits crouching medium kick here. He's trying to intercept the Daigo button. He's trying to beat the walk back or whatever Daigo's doing. And he just gets clipped by a boom for it from half screen away, right? It's the struggle of playing neutral against a character like Guile. If you want to beat his buttons, you have to be early, but if you're early, you'll lose the booms. It's just a constant uphill battle. EX boom. Oh. And that, again, delayed media important in this set. We talked about the throw attack OS earlier, right? We talked about that earlier. He delays his meaty just a little bit, and it'll catch him out of the Demon Flip OS. That was a great jump. One of the first jumps he's landed in this set. And the corner pressure is great, but if he gets a throw, who cares, right? That's the unfortunate side effect. Great view reversal. Damn, even that sweep hitting is bad for Tokido. He doesn't get the extra pressure. He can win. This is a great opportunity. He really has to win here. Because you know boom activation is coming at any second, right? And then at that point, Daigo is so much more deadly. Man, he's just standing for so long. And we talked about why, though, right? The main reason that Daigo gets to stand there is because when he's standing, he's skinnier, right? He's a little less, his hurt box is less wide, and he can just sort of wait and react to whatever Akuma does. He's so comfortable with the range that he's playing against Akuma that when he throws a fireball, Daigo reacts and blocks. When he hits a button, Daigo hits forward medium kick. If he jumps, he anti-airs, right? He's just waiting. He's waiting to see what happens. Man, that was an important 3-frame check. I wonder actually if did Daigo walk forward? That's what it looked like to me. Yeah, he tried to walk in. Yeah. Guile standing medium punch is not plus enough that you really have a lot of time to walk in after against a 3-frame character. You have to frame trap after with down jab or stand jab. You can't use another medium attack. So yeah, he doesn't have a ton of plus frames there. So that's 2-1. This is a closer set in the beginning than it was looking like. That was one of the first air fireballs that actually worked out, and it's because Daigo was committed to another button. Again, the crush counter fierce. An important thing in this matchup, right? An important tool in this match. It's hit confirmable, especially when it crushes. Hit confirming it when it's a regular hit is a little harder. But counter hit. He didn't get the counter hit confirm he could have got because he was committed to double down medium punch. He could have got the V skill. Backdash. A lot of early backdash from Daigo. That's a clean jump in. Nice range. That was sick. He gets to check him on the air fireball because he blocked it standing. You're a little bit more negative when you block standing air fireball than grounded air fireball. Oh, he didn't have time to flash kick there. The EX air fireball has a further hitbox. That was pretty good. That V trigger, it doesn't look like much, but the V trigger got him much more than I think. So if you look at this, right, the V trigger got him much more there than I think it probably looked like. If you tally Daigo's, oh, that was not a good line. Tally Daigo's life. Man, that's a tough one. Right, with the gray damage he gets here, fierce, EX red fireball, demon flip. Even though he blocked, look at how much chip and gray damage he took, right? Like, he's lost a pretty significant amount of life. Right, so that's not bad, I think. I don't know that I think this V-Trigger is better than V-Trigger 1, but it got him a little bit. Right, it got him a little bit. Tally Daigo's life. That's a tough sentence. Counter hit combo. One of the first times, wow. One of the first times we've seen Daigo get forward medium kick as a counter hit close enough to do anything off of it, right? Stuffed him after. Yeah, look at him just playing that range. Finally, the dash up. Tokido was ready. And I think you have to sort of be unpredictable there, right? Because if you're just sort of standing there and throwing fireballs and stuff, Daigo will just react with that forward medium kick. But if you want to play this style, this reactive style, like I think Tokido has to be a little bit more unpredictable. And I feel like when I watched this set, I was never like super surprised by what he did, right? That right there is a counter example of that. Man, that could have been a big counter hit confirm. Flash kick, yep. And he took the uppercut this time. That's 2 for 2 on the uppercuts. And he still has some V-Trigger left. And there it is. That's I think the strength of V-Trigger 2 right there. That corner series kind of represents what I think is good about it, right? So he gets the extended demon flip follow-up here. And then he gets a little bit of lockdown on Daigo. When he gets the fierce, the red fireball, and then he has the plus frames here to move in behind it. This is sort of what I think represents why he might like the V-Trigger 2. But in hindsight, the mix-ups of V-Trigger 1 and the plus grounded fireball might have been more beneficial to him in the long run. But I think at this point in the set, he probably feels okay with his V-Trigger choice. I think many Akuma players are actually like 50-50 on what V-Trigger to play in this matchup. So I think that Daigo's style, there was like, I don't know, there was two sets or two matches there where I feel like he wasn't playing the way he could have played in this style. More crouching medium kick, that's a button he hasn't hit as much of yet. It's been a lot of forward medium kick instead. Great air throw. And that crush again, yeah. Probably looking for demon flip, right? Probably looking for demon flip here with this delayed back HP. That's what I imagine. He's trying to crush the demon flip OS. Another air throw. Yeah, Daigo's playing much more counter hit confirm it. And there it is. A lot more forward in this round, right? Before, Daigo was kind of waiting a little bit. And I like that he changed his style and started moving in on Tokido a little bit more. Upside down kick, caught the demon flip throw tech OS. So it can beat both throw and demon flip throw tech OS. It's counter hit, so he gets down medium punch. And then, yeah, delay the meaty again. Got the counter hit. Delayed meaties, man, it's very, very useful. Against a player like Tokido in particular, right? Flash kick. He's doing more. He's doing a lot more in the neutral. He's moving in significantly more. He's down to hit buttons first instead of second. That change in style is very, I think, yeah, probably surprising. Damn, he walked in and blocked a fierce. Holy shit. Yeah, a lot more. Yeah, Daigo's first way more. I think that's something to think about in neutral, right? The thing about when you play a reactive style like Daigo's been doing is that the goal of a reactive style is to be second, right? The goal of a reactive style is to be second to all of your opponent's choices, to let them make a move first and then you counter with whatever will beat it. But when you switch up to a style that's first, instead, it's like Tokido now suddenly is like, okay, well, I was playing a different style. Now I have to switch to what I'm doing to deal with Daigo being first all the time, right? Oh, he stuffed it. He's not dead. Misses autocorrect uppercut or whatever he tried. Backs off. Daigo doesn't have any bar for a while, so this is one of those situations where Tokido can kind of work his way in. Tokido should do something in the V skill to build trigger. Yeah, there it is. Overhead. Oh my god. It's like max distance. I don't even know if that's something that Tokido would have thought of, because if you think about the way Daigo's been playing so far, I think at this point, if I was Tokido, I would have expected forward medium kick. I think right here, I would have thought to myself, he's done it so many times, he's probably going to do forward medium kick. So that was just like max distance. Right. It's just such an unusual choice. Like, Daigo style is so, I think, probably not what it's not, definitely not what I expected, but also probably not what Tokido expected. And I'm so surprised by how much Daigo was just not sitting there just throwing booms, right? I'm impressed by the amount of time he just stood there and just played the ground game like that. Counter hit confirm. See, look, he just like, look, I don't have to walk back and throw booms. He only gets real defensive when he has V-Trigger 2. Once he has Trigger 2, he knows that he has much more control of the screen. Wow, jump forward on Wake Up. Oh, man. That's one of the stronger tools in Street Fighter V, actually, right? Jump forward on Wake Up. For a couple of reasons. It's the same reason that Wake Up uppercuts are a lot worse, I think, in this game than other games. Because one of the most common options is the throw bait, right? The shimmy. So you walk back. And so because of that, people don't often meet it. You see that? Tokido was walking back and looking for crouching medium kick, probably to throw bait or whatever. And Daigo just jumps out on Wake Up because of it. It's why people block uppercuts so much in this game a lot of times, right? It's like they're not even looking for the uppercut. They're just trying to throw bait. Yeah, he guaranteed himself some offense there. Wake Up low forward. This is the part about Daigo's game plan that I think is the most worrisome, right? Can I put this in slow-mo? When he decides to do this, this is where I think Tokido begins to struggle, right? Where he's just, look at this. Like the last second, right? When he just stands there and kind of does that and plays reactively, it's such an unusual way for Guile to play the matchup. Because if you think most of the time Daigo, like, and other Guile players are just walking back and throwing booms. It's such a different approach to the matchup. That's only -1, by the way, the back fist. Now that he has V-Trigger 2, Daigo gets a lot more defensive. You see this? There's an immediate change in the pace as soon as he gets the activation. Because all he's doing is trying to fight for long enough that he gets V-Trigger 2, and once he gets V-Trigger 2, he wins. That was a great wake-up. And again, this is something that we talked about earlier, right? Another strength of the V-Trigger 2 that V-Trigger 1 doesn't have. Medium kick Tatsu through boom, into Tatsu again, into air fireball. That's a lot of damage after an anti-fireball move, right? A lot more than you usually get off medium kick Tatsu. And now Daigo can play this range and look for forward medium kick to close the round out, or down short. He needs either of those moves, right? Yeah, down short. He wants forward medium kick or down light kick. That's all he wants. He doesn't want anything fancy here. Ah, man. I can't believe that hit him. Akuma's got too much junk in the trunk. How the fuck did that even hit him? He's got a badonkadonk? What the fuck, bro? I can't believe that hit him. That's fucked up. Ooh, he tried to go up for the air throw. There it is. All right, this is what I wanted to see. This, unfortunately for Tokido, this would have lost probably to a forward medium kick. There it is, throw bait, clean stuff. This is what he needs, right? Go for another throw, of course. Like, man, his fucking flash kick percentage in this set was crazy. But if you're Tokido right here, you go for another throw because last time he jumped forward in the corner, right? So you're like, all right, I'm just gonna walk up and throw him, and that's what he tries, and then there's a flash kick. That would have stunned anyway. Delayed meaty again to beat the Demon Flip Throw Tech OS. It's so interesting because this is such a Daigo way of playing, right? Like, Daigo is not a very fancy guy, right? He's not a fancy guy. He doesn't know, you know, if you sat him at a dinner table and there was 3 knives and 3 forks, he wouldn't know what to do with them, right? He doesn't know which one. He doesn't know a butter knife from a steak knife. But when he plays, like, his solutions are so, like, they're kind of archaic, but like in the best possible way, right? And that's kind of what I like about the way he thinks about this match, is that, you know, Tokido is being kind of like, he's doing the right thing on paper, right? And I put right in air quotations, you know what I mean? He's doing the right thing by doing delayed Demon Flip Throw Tech OS, right? Because that is like the most optimal way to play, right? In your head, it's like, yeah, well, delayed throw tech OS, it beats throw tech, it beats you know, I get demon flip if he shimmies me or whatever. It's great, like, it's the right thing to do. But Daigo is like, I know that he is going to do demon flip throw tech OS on wake up, so instead of meeting him or whatever, like, you know, instead of going for whatever mix up, I'm gonna just walk up and do delayed back HP, just fucking boom. And like, the move is -1 on block, it has big ass pushback. It gives you gray damage if you block it anyway. It's a crush counter if you happen to hit a button and get counter hit by it. And because you're point blank, when you crush with this thing, you get a sweep. If you have full bar, you get critical art. It's like such a good move, and it's such a, like, it's not something that I would have thought, yeah, that's probably a great counter to that, right? Delayed meaty back HP, or delayed back HP on someone else's wake up. It's such a strange choice. He just delays all his meeting timing because of that, right? It's such a weird way to think about it. Oh, that was a missed flash kick. But it's like, it's Daigo's way of beating stuff like this, right? Which is such, yeah. Wow, there's no parry on the V reversely there. Oh no, side switch? Yeah, he's dead. Optimal. Walk right under. Forward HP, it brings him to the corner, you get dash up, down, boom. He could have done EX boom there, but it wouldn't have been as optimal, right? Up the down forward heavy kick, but nice work. You can't ask for much more than that. Tokido's second or third wake up uppercut in 6 games or whatever it was, 5 games. I feel like so far there hasn't been a deterioration in Tokido's strategy or anything. I think we're just at the point where Daigo's he's getting in the groove with his strategy. His style is reactive, and the more comfortable he is with what Tokido wants to do, the better his style is going to end up, right? And he's going low, trying to check that walk back, and Daigo is not having it. That was good Tatsu. Take the throw, why not? Because this is what happens after. Who cares? Nothing, right? That throw was nothing. Damage is so minuscule, and it doesn't really... It's inconsequential, right? Flash kick, of course. So you hang in the air to try to get out of there, it doesn't matter. And that's what's so good about Daigo's style, is like, he knows when to do this, right? When to walk back and forth and to play the ground game. But when Tokido tried to get in 3 or 4 times there, Daigo would just happen to be waiting. It's just the one time. He's so good at mixing up his playstyle. And Akuma just has... He doesn't have... Wow, he walked all the way in. He tried standing medium kick to stuff it. Oh, too early on the throw. Yeah, he has 2 advantage. He really wants it, but he can't chase Daigo down. He's just running. He could chip if he has to, but yeah, miss confirmed. Umehara ga. Yeah, you can flash kick air fireball on approach, so I don't know. That's the struggle of using V-Trigger 1. V-Trigger 1 is... I don't think either of Akuma's V-Triggers are great against Guile. I really don't think either are particularly effective. That's a full punish on the other side. Flash kick. He can just wait down there for the demon flip. Whatever option you go for, he gets the flash kick with the pretty similar timing. It's very hard for him not to get the anti-air. And this is another one of the strengths of this button, right? Back HP, -1 on block, big pushback. When he tries... Look at how far he is after trying to counter poke. He's not even in the same area code, right? He just gets forced away. Guile is such a fucking wall. You can't punish that. Yeah, he tried, but the boom recovers so fast. Good blocks. And now his V-Trigger's gone. And he's not going to probably build another one. Too far. It's the difference in their grounded buttons, right? The difference in these characters' grounded buttons. He has a good idea, crouching fierce. He wants to crush whatever Daigo throws out. But it's too far to combo anything after, right? Maybe, I don't even know what he could have done, yeah. If it crushed, that would have been great, but it didn't. Delayed meaty. Or delayed button trying to catch maybe standing up or throw attacking. And now that he has V-Trigger 2, Daigo can just play so defensive. His V-Trigger flash kick will kill for sure. That was, I think, a Daigo error. That's a pretty classic Daigo error, I think. Oh. It's like a Daigo error turned into like a strategy. When he missed that boom and got forward fierce, he just did another forward fierce. He was like, fuck it. I'm Daigo. He just does that stuff so often. That's like, I don't know. He does it all the time. If you watch him play, it's very common. I don't know. It's very hard to try to come up with a more winning strategy than what Tokido has done here, I think. Mostly because Daigo is just playing the matchup. He's playing the matchup and the player extremely well, and he's such an unconventional player. I think this is a struggle matchup for Akuma in many ways. I wonder if he would have floated over that if he didn't hit a button. This is interesting, actually. This button will actually only hit you if you're walking. This is so messed up, right? This is one of the other things about Guile's toolset. This button will not hit you if you're crouching, But what does Akuma want to do often against Guile, right? He wants to walk back so he can whiff punish. And when you have this button, you know, and you're trying to walk back and whiff punish stuff, this only hits you if you're standing. So it's like his grounded normals are so excellent, right? There's so many things in his tool set that all combined are just really tough to stop. It only hits you because you're standing up and trying to walk back and make something whiff. So then you're like, all right, well, you know, I got to get even further back to make this whiff. Oh my God, his hit rate. All right. It worked that time. See, that time Tokido goes crouching. Tokido is crouching, right? And he goes under it, but it recovers super fast, and he just counter pokes him. And I can't believe medium punch anti-air. That's so weird. I think the Japanese commentator said the same shit. Talked about this at the beginning of the set, but in case you missed it, the defense in this game, right? Not a lot of defensive options, but an important one to watch. Let's put it in slow-mo. Important skill to walk back in between your opponent's buttons so that when they try to throw you, you make it whiff and he can punish down jab, sonic boom, right? Super important skill in this game. There was a little while on BeasTV where Fudo talked about sort of the strength of this kind of defensive idea, and yeah, you can see it in effect there. Just watch it real quick. It's very tough to notice. Just a little walk back, boom, right? It's a really important skill in this game, and I think that when you develop it, it makes your defense much stronger. Yeah, this is a ton of gray damage. The V reversal, he's totally fine with it. It's a 2-bar V reversal from Guile, so he's gonna build another trigger. In fact, he's about to get it. Again, he is forward HP because Akuma standing, trying to walk back, and it catches the walk back. He's got it again. Oh my God! Look at that quick whiff on forward HP. Yeah, he had to spend that bar to float over the boom. That trade is so unfortunate. That was a great block. He's not dead. Oh my God. If Tokido loses this is like the most heartbreaking loss, right? But it's actually very tough to beat Guile in this scenario. Nice work. Nice work. It's not bad. It's not bad, right? 5-3 is not a bad score in this set. Punish. There's not that many Guile players because he's like a classic character, right? And like I think a lot of people don't maybe like the playstyle of the character. Fighting games are unique in that even recently, I guess, in Street Fighter especially, people don't always just pick whatever the cheapest character is. You're starting to see a little bit more of that. But in general, a lot of fighting game players just play the character that they like. But this I like, right? Daigo's been doing a lot of delayed meaties and stuff. I like the wake up butt. I like it. I don't want to see more of Daigo getting away with delaying his buttons. Jump out. I like that anti-air. You unfortunately don't gain the side switch back, but it's damage, and damage is important in a matchup like this. That beat the flash kick, but it costs him a bar, and it doesn't really help his positioning at all. Yeah, clean V reversal. Now, what's messed up about that V reversal too, if you look at the health bars here, so he wants to stack up gray damage on Guile, right? So he's fierce, he's gonna spend his V trigger. Look at how much gray damage gets added up here. When Guile V reversals, you can see Akuma's gray over here, up in this corner. Man, drawing with a mouse is hard. And you can see Guile's gray. Yeah, you gain a lot more from eating that V reversal as Akuma than Guile's getting from V reversaling, right? Even though he blocked the fierce, it's not that much gray damage. It's a better trade for Daigo there. He's giving up part of his V bar to remove Tokido's activated V trigger. You have to fight from behind in this round just because, you know, it's just the nature of the matchup. And Daigo is pretty likely to build another V-trigger unless he dies in a big hit. Got him, he's dead. Man, Daigo's a simple fellow, right? He mixed up throw and upside down kick, and he makes it like a real threat. Because he's beaten the throw tech OS so many times too, I feel like Tokido probably doesn't even want to go for it. And it loses to upside down kick anyway. Daigo can hit a button after that, but he hasn't. He's just backdashed after it. I don't know if he just doesn't want to try it or what. There was Tokido using the same walk back. Right? He walks back right here and makes it whiff. The difference is that he's not capitalizing. He tries a standing jab, but it just didn't reach. Okay. No, that was probably supposed to be an uppercut cancel. Yeah, that does not combo. But he got too far of a pushback to get much off of it. I assume that was supposed to be Tatsu uppercut. Like, you know, use the V-trigger to cancel it. Oh no, he didn't even get his combo. That's bad news for Tokido. Yeah, back fear is probably trying to catch backdash. Hey, if it crushes, Daigo wins. Oh, the combo. And that was going to be down jab, you know, fireball, etc. Force the chip out here. He has full gauge. Boom. He got sweep combo. That was sick. Yeah, right here, this is down jab into boom into CA. You're done, though. Not much in the way of options there. So 6-3. About what I expect in this set, right? I think this is sort of what I think about the matchup on paper. Advantage Guile. I'd like to see him challenge. I'd like to see him challenge this a little bit more. But, you know, he doesn't. It's -1. Or no, sorry, minus... is it -1? Yeah, -1. Although it depends on, I guess, when it hit in the active frames. But oh no, too far. That was a little challenge. And then he's looking for stand line kick buffer after again. Dash up throw. When you start doing stuff like dash up throw, it makes your opponent want to hit more grounded buttons, right? You're like, look, I don't want this guy dashing up in my face like some kind of, I don't know, barbarian. Like, I have to use my normals to keep him out. Got him. Got him flinching. That air flip out worked okay for Tokido. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Forward medium kick, threatening the down medium kick from Tokido. He can chip out pretty soon here. Oh, no. Wow, he went for throw. Yeah, Tokido wants sweep activated, and then he wants to force the chip out. This is such a bad range. Oh, my God. That's the beginning of the end, huh? Oh my god. There's nothing there for a while. I wonder if he missed whatever he tried. You see it, right? Tokido, he's trying so many options. He's like, alright, walk up. I'll use my fierce. Daigo delays the boom. Got him. And then Daigo's like, alright, poke you here. Throw the boom. And he's just trying anything with Akuma. Right, counter poking with medium kick, trying to walk up, crouching medium kick, like none of his options are working. And now he's scrambling, he's dead. It's the side effect of the matchup, and you can't blame Tokido for this necessarily, right? I think that this is just sort of what it's like to play against Guile. It's how these matchups can go. It's very easy for this to happen. That's just how the matchup breaks down sometimes, right? See Otto, he's like, Fudo, tell me, what's going on here? And Fudo's like, damn! I kind of want to watch the end of that again. Yeah, it's looking tough. He's trying all his buttons to counter poke. He gets counter hit right there. Anti-air is clean. He jumps again. He even threw a boom. That's the fucked up part, isn't it? The fucked up part here is he trades on the anti-air, throws a boom, and Tokido still is not advantage enough to get a clean jump in. Counter hit confirmed it. It's like, that's like the nail in the coffin, right? He gets the upside down kick, but he counter hit confirms with down medium punch. It's like he didn't need it. We're at 7-3 in the set right now. So a little more than halfway. But interesting that Fudo says here. Fudo says Daigo is fighting until the middle of the here, I'll rewind it. But
Fudo is saying Daigo is fighting in the middle of the screen. Instead of running away, he's kind of fighting in the mid-range. So even if he goes forward, he might take some damage, but he builds up V gauge. So once he gets the V gauge built up, then he'll run away and he'll go in the defensive.
Right, exactly. We were talking about this earlier, right? Fudo saying basically he is okay with fighting in the middle of the screen because he's not losing positioning and he's building trigger. And then once he has trigger, it's kind of like the nail in the coffin, right?
Getting some fresh air or running the restroom. He's saying about how hot it is right here. It is burning hot in here. I'm drenched in sweat. I appreciate the arcade feel, but let's get some fans in here.
The break is also forced, by the way. It wasn't Tokido who was like, all right, I need a break. It's after 10 games there was a break. That was the way it goes.
Two legends of the fighting game community.
Right. There's a forced break. Damn, Daigo's looking stressed. Do you see his face? He looks stressed.
He's saying that Daigo, this is the Daigo Mihara when he devotes all of his focus.
This fool's got to be sweating in this suit.
This is serious mode Daigo. Not the Daigo you saw it.
Poor Adu, he's like over there dying. Tokido's got Tokido. Fudo has a fucking hoodie on indoors? That's crazy. How does he have a suit and he have a hoodie? I own this hoodie. It's fucking warm. Well, not warm, but warm in an arcade for sure. Fudo's got to be dying in that thing.
Daigo is still chugging Red Bull now. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, chugging the Red Bull. Tokido's stepped out.
I don't know how he does. Yeah, I guess it's hot in there, right? Like, you need something. But he looks exhausted.
There's no bathroom break.
Yeah, they're saying it's hot in there.
The break to go to the bathroom. He's chugging that water.
You like Fudo's mustache?
But here, Adu and Fudo are saying this is the kind of
Oh, man.
every fighting game player needs to watch. Not a Street Fighter 5 player. If you play any fighting games, even if you just have a casual interest in.
Oh, yeah, I see the mustache. Let's go, Fudo.
This is the kind of.
I gotta turn the pen into like black or brown so that I can draw the mustache.
People still talk about Infiltration versus Daigo. They still talk about Daigo versus Shan.
Interesting point. Yeah, those sets that Daigo has played are sort of legendary now, right? I think they're hopping back in right around here. So the analysis part that they've done is over, so I will jump into the... Oh, shit. Well, you know, maybe a little too far ahead. All right. There it is. Should be the start of the round. 7-3 is the score currently in the matchup. And, yeah, I think it's a bit of an unorthodox... it's a bit of an unorthodox style from Daigo. I don't think it's the style I expected him to play. And they talked about it in the break, but we were talking about it throughout the set, right? And the real... yeah, Fudo's born in 84, I believe. So, yeah, he's older. The real thing about this matchup that surprised me is how willing Daigo is to play at, like, this space in the screen, right? He does not want to move past this position in the screen. So he's willing to play this range with Tokido quite a bit and just kind of play reactively. So he's chilling in this range, and Fudo mentioned it too, right? So his goal is to fight in this range until he builds trigger, right? Once he has V-Trigger 2, then you can give up space, play the boom game, and use the big damage on your anti-airs to play kind of the traditional boom and flash kick game. But the meantime, you're down to play the neutral. And I think Guile has good enough grounded buttons that if you mix in your grounded buttons, you'll force Tokido to step back this way. When he steps back, then you hit him with the boom, right? So you're trying to bait him into whiff punishing your normals, and once you bait that, you throw the boom. And if he reacts to the boom like it's a normal, because the way whiff punishing works is, right, is like you walk back and you're like, all right, when I see this character move, I'm going to whiff punish this move, right? So you walk back, you see the movement, you're like, I'm going to whiff punish. You hit medium kick, and then he throws boom. And then you just get hit by the boom, counter hit by the boom, so you take the distance. So then you're like, well, I'm going to walk up and I'm going to whiff punish the next thing he does. You hit a button, boom, standing medium kick, right? He throws another boom, and now you're like, fuck, I'm going to jump, flash kick. It's like, oh my God, it's so frustrating. You have to grind your way in against this character. And Daigo is so unorthodox and unpredictable, and he's so willing to play mid-range, which is like a weird idea in this matchup, that I think it was very hard for Tokido to adjust his strategy. Step back boom to beat any whiff punish attempts, and then you throw out the button, right? Much more fireballs from Tokido already. He's kind of leading with them a little bit more than he was before. But again, you're going to get pushed back by the booms. It's just the way it goes, right? You're going to get pushed back by the booms. That was a great block from Daigo. Oh my God, one more for stun. Yeah, that was almost it, but it's going to be it anyway, and he's going to close it out pretty easily. I really like that down short as much as I like Male Waitress coming back. I haven't seen Male Waitress in forever. Didn't she go on like some life journey or something? Tries the overhead. It gets stuffed by low medium kick. But at this position, if you're Daigo, there's no reason not to swing. Because of how high the stun gauge is, down short is such a good choice. What are you going to do? Right? A lot of booms. And once, oh, he thought he got him, right? He thought he had convinced them to stop hitting a button, so he tried to walk in. Hard to hit confirm that, actually. It's very hard, I think, to hit confirm standing fierce without the crush. Japanese announcer, you're talking about Adu? He's a legend. Oh no, he got crossed up backdashing. I like that jump Tatsu. If he did regular jump, Daigo would have chased him out of the air. But he's about to build trigger, right? Yeah, blocking that fireball is totally okay because now he has V-trigger available. He can just activate off of boom. And if it hits, he gets a combo. If it's blocked, he gets pressure, right? Just like that. Got him. Does he spend more? No. He just wants offense. I wish... Right here, I wish he had done something else. Standing jab here, I guess, is the answer. But earlier, he did back fierce, right? And back fierce is a much better choice. And he doesn't even get the side switch. He tries to throw bait, and Daigo gets him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is a dangerous position for Tokido to close out, I think, actually. I think Guile's a very tough character to close out. Especially when he has V-trigger. He's got the house arrest bracelets on his legs. Damn, that sucks. It's very tough. I think that this position is so tough. Like, even though he has the lead, closing this out against Guile is super hard. And Tokido actually gets hit by this because he tries to hit a button, right? It's not because he's trying to punish the flash kick or anything. Like, he does this at the same time, and then he just immediately, he just gets clipped. What are you going to do about it? That V-trigger boom is very strong. As strong as the UIU streams. If you guys missed all the UIU YouTube and Twitch stuff, you guys have to check it out. Especially the Newlywed game that Steve and I did. That was super fun. Thanks to them for the host. That is 8-3. Somebody said something interesting, which was that the hype dudes all sound just like this. That was great, Tatsu. Yeah, see, I like that check from Daigo. He's using crouching short quite a bit as just kind of a little tap like that. Yeah, the counter on it. He uses down medium kick and then counter pokes with it after. The thing about crouching medium kick, for instance, is that crouching medium kick is negative, but it pushes you so far away that to reach, you have to hit like a medium attack, right? Which is slow enough that Daigo can beat it with a fast startup move. Got him. That's a hard hit confirm. It's very difficult to do. Great challenge. Yeah, there's a gap there. He got him. Takes the throw this time. Tokido did not backdash. It's tough to stay solid right here. With V trigger 2 on deck for Daigo, like it's really scary as Tokido, I think. Oh man, he's not even charging, right? He's just fighting in the mid screen. It's such a weird style to play. As like, just watch this. Just look at the way Guile moves. When do you see Guile play like this? It's so weird, right? That was great. But what does he get? Nice. All right, all right. Not dead. Oh, he walked right in there. Even Daigo looks fucking stressed out. You see his face? I can't blame him. It's looking tough. As tough as it is for me to thank UIUTV on the fly. Thanks very much for the 1 month sub. I think you guys have. Oh, maybe it's a different account. You're right. You're right. That was scary. But look at the way this goes for him. He misses me there, but look at the way this goes for him. The forward medium kick. He gets stuffed finally, but again, the problem with this ground game for Tokido is that we talked about this earlier, right? He has been forced off of crouching medium kick. And it's brutal because when you're forced away from crouching medium kick, you lose your hit confirmable poke, right? Crouching medium kick, Tokido can see if it hits and then cancel a Tatsu or something, right? But with standing medium kick, he's just buffering or he's just sticking it out, hoping that it'll hit, right? It's not the same as crouching medium kick, but because Daigo has done 100 million forward medium kicks in a row, like you just stop hitting your low pokes, right? You're just like, okay, I can't hit it anymore. This guy is just going to do forward medium kick forever, so I'll stop using this and I'll start using this button. And he forces him away from his safest button to do something that's like better in the scenario, but more risky and less consistent, right? Which is like a really bad position to be forced into in a matchup where you already have to climb your way in, right? Bro, but again, what does he get here? Not much, right? He gets one button before he's forced out by Daigo. Counter hit out of the air, not much. Yeah, almost everything Tokido does now, because of the changes in this season to Akuma, are much worse in this matchup. I thought this matchup was much easier for Akuma last season. That was great patience from Daigo. He just waited. And this is one of those positions against Guile where, yeah, it's so tough to win. Backdash. Just a little down poke after. And that's very common for Daigo to do this, right? Forward medium kick or crouching medium kick and a crouching light kick. The reason you do this is because if you think about this range, right? Think about this range where Tokido is. So, Daigo's -2. So you think to yourself, well, he's -2. I should hit a button to check him. The problem is that you want to hit like a medium or a heavy button because of the distance. So Daigo just does crouching short. So, like, he's forcing Tokido to do immediate reversal medium button that's fast to stop it, you know? He's like, all right, I got to hit something quick. And then what happens if Daigo walks backwards, that move will whiff and Daigo just whiff punishes you. So you start to just end up in one of those positions where it's just like, he is just running this simple little thing, right? Forward medium kick and a crouching light kick, or down medium kick and a crouching light kick to catch your counter poke or catch your walk forward. That's forcing Tokido to be like, all right, I got to immediately poke with this button, or just not hit anything at all, which is like as equally as bad. And that's why he can walk up and throw him, right? Look, he hasn't hit a button after that crouching medium kick. He's not dead. He doesn't get a juggle after this. Crouching light kick twice. Got him. That's so messed up for Akuma there, right? Because Akuma has no bar. And so the only thing he has that can beat this EX boom is red fireball, which is way too slow, and regular fireball is not gonna get the job. What can you do? All you can do is thank Peter for giving you the Twitch Prime and accept that the score is now 9-3. What do you do? What do you do? You see that little micro walk at the beginning? He's trying to get in range to thank Sarpin for the Twitch Prime. Thanks very much. Once he's in that range to thank him, he can, you see this? If Tokido starts the round start fireball, you can flash kick through this. But again, the strategy from Daigo is the same, right? Don't be afraid to walk forward and use your grounded normals to fight in the mid-screen. That was a flash kick. Don't be afraid to walk forward and use your grounded normals to fight in the mid-screen to build up the space. Eventually, you'll lose the space, but by then you'll have built up your V-trigger, and then that's fine, right? Whiff punish, whiff punish. Right? He started with boom, 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 boom. He makes Tokido want to beat the boom with his buttons, and then he's just ready with the grounded normals. What a dash under. What the hell? Alright, he challenged it. And again, you see the mileage that he's getting out of V-Trigger 2, I feel like is less and less each one of these rounds, right? I wish he would have tried something new, maybe after the break. But a lot of Akuma players run V-Trigger 2 in this matchup. It's not uncommon. I think the idea is generally that you can control Guile a little bit more with the lockdown in the corner, but I don't think in actuality it's worked very much against Daigo. Just catching him trying to walk forward or walk back with a low medium kick. Yeah, he had to spend that bar just to not land. He spent 2 bars there on like very little damage, right? 1 bar not to land on the fireball, the second to get an anti-air. It's so hard to make that button whiff. Forward medium kick moves him so far forward. No pressure after this throw, really. Got him. Spend the V gauge, right? Yeah. That's pretty decent damage. Delayed throw, maybe expecting uppercut. Nice. Okay. That's like badly spaced flash kick from Daigo there, right? I think he expects actually for Tokido to throw a fireball after crouching medium kick, and that's a clean punish. My man Daigo is looking stressed. He's sweating. He's looking stressed. Damn, you see that head shake at the end? Look at that. Look what's going on over here. Too far. But I don't know if he could have got flash kick at that range. Maybe, but it's hard to tell. You see that? That's a great example of what the ground game looks like against Guile sometimes, right? Crouching medium kick. He tries to fierce it. Second crouching medium kick. So what do you do if you're Tokido here? You're like, look, all right, fella, I get it. You really like this fucking button. So what I will do as Akuma is use a very fast button to counter poke and beat your crouching medium kick, right? Makes sense enough. He's like, all right, I'm sick of you. Standing medium kick. Sonic boom. Right? It's like, it's brutal. Every time you want to beat a button and he switches from a button to sonic boom, you lose because you just get forced back. That's such a common scenario against Guile, right? Oh, that was, I think, medium kick Tatsu. Yeah, V-Trigger 2, you can get 2 activations in this match, but it just depends. That was good. I would take the activation here for sure. Sweep activate or something. Or Fireball activate. E-reversal. Interesting. That's the hit confirm he wants, but he can't hit that button that often because of forward medium kick, right? Got him. He's backdashed here a lot. This is a place where Tokido backdashes quite a bit, so I'm not surprised to see that hit him. Upside down kick. He's probably looking for crouching medium kick, I guess. Daigo's one of the only people that uses upside down kick from super far away. Yeah, walked behind the whiff. That's a really common strategy, right? When someone whiffs, to just walk in behind it because they're afraid of the whiff punish. Yeah, that button, it makes everything so dangerous right now. It's like one of the best round ending buttons in the game. Got him. He threw light punch red fireball, which only has 1 hit. No, where was the combo? Okay, I like the dive kick. That's the first time he's done that. Maybe thought he was gonna catch him low. Okay, he takes a risk there, but I think a worthwhile risk probably because Daigo has pressed almost every time after that. Back throw. And you see, he still gets the meaty there, right? He's still, like, not a lot of other characters get offense after the throws like that. Like, Akuma's throw pressure is not very strong, right? So activation on V-Trigger 2. But the problem with this is the same problem that V-Trigger 1 has in this matchup, right? Which is that even though you have the V-Trigger active, you don't gain anything additional in the neutral, really. Right? V-Trigger 1, you gain the 2-hit fireball, but you really don't gain that much. You really only get lockdown with it, which is what Tokido needs in this position, because he can close out the round if he gets like a red fireball into a throw or something. Damn! Alright, you convince him you're gonna hit a button on the walk-in and you never do, I guess. Surprised that reached. Take the throw again, not much. You see, he spent an EX fireball there. It's so expensive to get so little damage. Got him. He is not dead, but he's damn close. I don't think back throw will stun, actually. Yeah. Daigo could make this comeback, but he needs Tokido to make a couple of big mistakes. Now he needs about 1 big mistake. He doesn't need 2 mistakes anymore. 2 regular mistakes or 1 little mistake. That was a mistake for sure. Oh boy. I don't know if he tried to bait that or I'm not sure what the thought process was. Maybe just a panic. Punish. Yeah. This activation, it was just, I think, a straight up punish on Daigo's boom. 9-5. I don't know about the demon flip either. I feel like that was just an error in decision making. Missed buffer. Or missed hit confirm, one of the two. Somersault. He's very close to stun. Daigo was hitting a button after that low medium kick. Activate. Got him, alright. Unfortunately for Tokido, he just gets corner out of that, right? He didn't get anything too significant. And because of how much damage he's taken without spending the rest of this V-trigger, he won't get a second. Yeah, Daigo tightens up real hard. Like, he tightens up the defense, and he just kind of, man, he just seals the deal. He didn't play around in that mid-range as much right there, right? He just kind of walked, yeah, he's out of there. And this is where it's, yeah, I don't know how you win this here. It's very tough, okay? I mean, that's the start, right? The fact that he threw, that was such a bad boom. Or a good jump, I guess. Yeah, I guess you attribute it to the jump instead of the boom. Oh my god, that's so hard to hit confirm solo. Without the crush, it's like near impossible, I think. It's like you have to be a superhuman. Ooh. He finally threw it, man. He finally threw the boom. Yeah, good challenge after. He got the counter hit confirm and everything. It is not advantage. But the advantage of having nice people like Kirby Poppins around is that you get 4-month subs. Thanks very much for the sub. Man, look at Daigo go. Counter hit combo. Stun kills here. And this is either so brutal to not be stunned. That'll do it. Oh, man. It's so impossible, right? The control here is too much to not die. Like, what do you do? It's such a hard comeback to make. Pixel against Guile. Oh. And the mist confirmed. Daigo takes a 10-5, and look at how tired he looks after this set. Like, you could tell that this is an emotionally draining set for him to play. Man. Yeah, there are new emotes on the channel. This is crazy. I was very surprised about this set, honestly. Not that Daigo won the set, but that the way he played it was so surprising to me. Like, yeah, I don't know. I found his, what's it called? His strategy not to be the one that I expected. Juna smiling back there? Daigo lost, bro. You're not supposed to smile. Or he won, actually, I guess, but, you know. I don't know. He's not about to be smiling, you know? He's not about to be smiling. I don't want to watch the rest of this, to be honest with you. It was pretty tough to watch when it happened. Nobody's about to be smiling in this room besides Daigo, actually, in the post-match interview, which was really interesting to me. But yeah, the thing is that my take on the matchup is that I'm surprised with how Daigo played it, but it was a more effective strategy than I expected. I'm surprised that he played so much mid-range, but I think it was a good idea to play that much mid-range and allow himself to build V-Trigger. And I also think that I wish Tokido had tried V-Trigger 1, even though I don't necessarily know or think that it's a better V-Trigger than V-Trigger 2 in this matchup, that it would be worthwhile to just check it out. What do I think about Akuma versus Guile? I think Guile wins. I thought last season it was much more winnable for Akuma because his ability to close out the round off of a successful hit is significantly higher than this season. Because his knockdown after uppercut was more dangerous, and his throw was more dangerous, especially in the corner, and he had higher damage output with V-Trigger 1. So yeah, he was very strong, right? He was much stronger in kind of explosive power than he is in this season. But I can't explain it. Like, a lot of people were surprised that Tokido cried here. I don't find it that surprising. Well, first of all, a lot of people have been emotional after victories or defeats in fighting games, right? Because if it's something that you truly care about, then you will sort of be emotionally invested in it in this way. But I don't know, like, I think there's other fighting game players that can sort of empathize with the idea of having someone who you consider like the person who teaches you how to be better at, whether it's in the game or out of the game, how to act or how to improve yourself. And to Tokido to like try to adopt a new style of learning how to be better at fighting games, right? Not just to improve at fighting games, or not just to win at fighting games, but learn how to improve and to like obtain a new mindset, and then to play Daigo and lose with it. It's like he's done so much to improve himself, and he's succeeded in so many ways that this to him was probably just the next step that he saw in sort of his, you know, like climb as a fighting game player. And if you're a fighting game player who really cares about improving, then I think it's super unlikely that you haven't had like an emotional moment like this after a win or a loss. And I know that I don't count myself out in that. I've definitely had moments like how Tokido feels here, although his is probably significantly more heartbreaking, given that it was such an important set in his mind, and he was the one to challenge Daigo, right? Yeah, you can tell that this is like in a very emotionally invested set from Tokido. But I gotta tell you, Daigo's ability to prepare is so fascinating to me, because his strategy, again, like I mentioned earlier, was not really a strategy that I think is built around game sense, or like maybe not game smarts, right? I guess that's not even the right word. It's not like a technically impressive strategy, right? It's not like a technically impressive strategy. It's not like it grinded a bunch of crazy, like, very interesting tech side of the game stuff. It's like his strategy is clearly designed to beat Tokido. And it's like game sense strategy, which is really interesting. Stuff like delayed back fierce to beat throw tech OS demon flip is such a weird idea, but it's an idea that I kind of like, that only Daigo, I think, would come up with stuff like that. It's interesting for sure. It's like when Daigo to beat Bullhorn from Birdie does meaty forward fierce. It's like such a strange idea, right? I don't know. I mentioned Tokido was able to pull more games in this first 10 than many other people do against Daigo. Yeah, so if you think about the Cien set, it was 10-0. And if you think about the Infiltration set, it was 10-2. So comparatively to these big setup special exhibition matches that Daigo has prepped for, this is one of the better scores that people have had. It's also why Daigo has always been so effective in stuff like Topanga League, particularly in the Topanga League finals. My favorite Street Fighter set of all time is the Topanga League finals between Momochi and Daigo in Street Fighter 4, the final set, right? The final set that they played. The final Topanga League ever, the final Street Fighter 4 Topanga League set ever played. And that set was just like supremely impressive from Daigo. It was crazy. The way he played was super impressive. He did lose to Itabashi. The format they played wasn't like a first to 10 though, right? Or was it? I thought it was like you have to win a certain amount of sets one. It was like the chasing the set one, right? Where it's like you have to win, like a set is a point or something, and you have to get like 2 points or something, and you have to win by 2 or something. It's like some weird format. But yeah, his results in long sets are really impressive. I think Daigo's definitely lost long sets before, yeah. But in these kind of prepared first to 10s, his record is very impressive. And I think it's, to me, the reason he's so hard to prepare for, at least in my mind.
The translation is on Event Hub, supposedly.
All right, I'll take a look at that. Thanks. In my mind, the reason he's so hard to prepare for is that, like I said, his strategy is not like a game strategy in terms of like being super technical. It's like his strategy is about coming up with something for the player, and it's just stuff that Daigo comes up with. You know, it's like his ideas to beat Tokido are not ideas that are like extremely technically impressive Guile stuff. It's just kind of smart game sense from him to beat like the obvious answers. And if you do want to see the rest of this and everything like that, you can check it out, the interview. Tokido is very emotional in the interview. I don't want to show it because it's going to get me emotional, so I'm not trying to watch it. I already lived through it once, and it was tough enough. But if you guys would like to support Daigo's Kemonomichi, hopefully they will do another one. Check out his YouTube channel. We watched this set on his Twitch, which is DaigoTheBeasTV. Because it's Beast TV. But he also has a YouTube channel that you guys can follow along to. What's it called? If you guys aren't subscribed to Daigo's YouTube channel, DaigoTheBeasTV. He is uploading all the Kemonomichi stuff now. So if you guys would like to support it, please do not... what's it called? Please do not support people who are ripping this content on YouTube. Please support the original content creator, as I try to do. Because... you know, there's a lot of people. I can link this for you guys. Support original content creators in the fighting game community because they are important and deliver something cool, especially these Kemonomichi sets, right? I'll link the VOD for you guys of Daigo versus Tokido as well.